Hi there, it's Kevin with the Rogue Market here with an update to Iconic Masters. If you've been watching this channel for a while, you may know that this is the set that I have been touting for quite some time. I've never really liked Masters 25, never understood why Masters 25 outpaced Iconic Masters with the sealed booster box price, as it's a more recent set and has about the exact same amount of printing that Iconic Masters has, and the set EV has historically been lower than Iconic Masters, or when they were about even, I made the prediction that Iconic Masters would start to outpace Masters 25. So let's just talk about Masters 25 here and why I think it's now is the time to get in on the sealed boxes for Iconic Masters. Yes, I know there's a pandemic going on. It does seem to be with these checks that are coming around that people are blowing their money on sealed booster boxes. Now, whether or not you think that's an appropriate use of something that was supposed to be given to people to survive for the next couple of months, we can debate politics another time, another channel. But that's the reality of life, that people are blowing their stimulus checks on sealed booster boxes, and it's on the rise. Commander, that's the two little metrics that I've seen move in Magic the Gathering right now, is sealed booster boxes and Commander staples. And Iconic Masters really has the Commander part going for it. So let's just take a look at Dawnglare and see where Iconic Masters is comparatively to the other sets here. So we have Iconic Masters at 176. It's rebounded from its April 11th low back up to where it was March 30th. So it's got a little bit of ways to go pre-pandemic crash, or what we call the mystery booster boxes crash, because there was a lot of cards, even from Iconic Masters, that were reprinted in the mystery booster boxes. So I accidentally actually published the video that I was supposed to publish on the Rogue Market on my main channel, the Rogue Deck Builder, and then got too lazy to move it over to this channel. So you can go and see that entire topic that I talked about, the lows of the pandemic and how we've recovered that 20 to 30% loss of what was either the mystery booster boxes or the pandemic, whichever one was affecting the prices of the Magic Gathering singles and sealed market and more. It looks like we've, for the most part, rebounded almost all the way from the lows, or where they were before it started crashing, which is interesting. Most of the economies are still shut down. We're still seeing, again, I'm not going to get, there's so much politics surrounding the pandemic that I want to get into the kind of the theories and whatnot without offending someone. So anyway, let's just stay strictly on topic here to Iconic Masters versus like Masters 25, and again, why I think this is a good pickup for a sealed product. So Iconic Masters back up to 176, which means that it is profitable for opening these boxes at the TCG market price, if you can expect to get a TCG market price at. And lo and behold, that's actually the price that I sell Iconic Masters for. So if you are a patron of mine, you can actually purchase Iconic Masters for 175. Of course, there will still be shipping on top of that. And of course, if you really want to be, nitty gritty, factoring in your Patreon fee with that, I get it. I get that some people, that's why they use the service. And at that point, maybe Iconic Masters wouldn't be the greatest purchase. But if this trend continues and we don't see any massive reprints from like Jumpstart, which I don't think we will, because a lot of the cards that are in Iconic Masters, I think, have a harder time being reprinted, and then say like something out of Masters 25. Remember, Masters 25 is kind of the precursor to Mystery. They try to hit cards from every set. So Masters 25 got hit a lot from Mystery as well, with some of them getting the double tap from being included in Masters 25 and in the Mystery packs. So anyway, back to Iconic Masters and why I think it's such a great set. So it has outpaced Masters 25. You can see that Masters 25 is having a rougher time recovering. Iconic actually didn't go as low either as Masters 25. And you look even at the March 30th date, it was outpacing Masters 25 at that point. For Masters 25, I think there's better stuff for more of the competitive formats. Iconic Masters, there's definitely better stuff for Commander. And the rare slots, I also give the nod to the Iconic Masters. And the Mythic slots used to be, I gave the nod to Masters 25, but now it's seeming to be the Mythic slots have been really in the favor for even Iconic Masters, and the foils also are starting to lean towards Iconic Masters. So it's a pretty good sign with Iconic Masters now being at this 176. It's even outpaced the Modern Horizons. Modern Horizons has been going up quite a bit too. This is one that I wish I would have been stockpiling these when they were down to 135, 140, so you get Modern Horizons. It looks like these have jumped back up on about 170 to 190 a booster box on eBay and TCG Players. So this is another one we'll have to talk about with Modern Horizons. There's so much supply still out there, though, that I would, if I had to choose between, and I was asked the question, would I invest in Iconic Masters or Modern Horizons? definitely Iconic Master, I think, is the better box to invest in at the moment. So let's go over here to Iconic Masters on eBay. It looks like you can still get free shipping. 187 is the lowest one at the moment I was able to find. Brand new case for 4 booster boxes for $775. So I'm going to do the math on that. Not sure what that is. But these are starting to trend upwards. That the 175 actually getting in for me looks like it's the cheapest place comparatively to Amazon and eBay at the moment. So a little bit of promotion there. If we look at the price of Iconic Masters, we're seeing this sharp incline. Again, a lot of this has to do with coming out of the crash that the mystery booster boxes in the pandemic caused. And it looks like Iconic Master as a whole, so the value of the set, not the set EV, didn't drop as much as most sets do. And now the EV is starting to trend upwards. So the big winners is Mana Drain, hitting missing the reprint in the mystery booster boxes. So this is now a $150 chase card, which is another reason why I think that Iconic Masters is going to start to dry up as far as the sealed booster box is concerned. Whenever there's a card that goes over like $100, that's why Masters 25 was sold before Iconic Masters, is because Jace looked like the better target to hit than Mana Drain. Well, now swap those around. Mana Drain absolutely looks like the better target in the 2 master sets that people actually want. If we go down, we have Avacyn, Angel of Hope, having a huge spike in this daily. It's just, I think it's at the point where a lot of these copies were put for very, very low when the pandemic hit, when people were just piecing out, when people got desperate or were thinking the sky was going to fall. And this was one of the type of cards that many of the cards above like $25, $30, Commander Staples, reserve list cards, those were flooded on the markets, and then it just dropped the price of them, and then people started stripping them out because, it was what people would think a once in a lifetime to get them at these prices. Those have all been stripped out, and now it even seems like there's just less supply out there of people actually selling these particular cards that now, or what I've seen also, I talk more about this on my video on Rogue Deck Builder. I see a lot of people that are getting these stimulus checks, and now it's money they never had to spend on splurge on things like Commander Staples. Our local game store, we were selling like things like even upwards of the Gaia's Cradle type cards to people that now just had that influx of cash. They could never afford, quote unquote, one of these cards for their decks, and now they have $1,200. Okay, I'll get this particular card I've been waiting for. And so I think Avacyn fits in that category. And now we're seeing that just the supply has been way outstretched by the demand of this new influx of the cards that were dirt cheap of Avacyn, where people picked those up, and B, now having that excess cash to now splurge on, treat yourself on cards you always wanted. Another thing that it's got going for the Iconic Masters is cards like Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize has proven itself in Pioneer. It's one of the most played cards in Pioneer. It goes in the Dimir Inverter of Truth deck, and it's also going in the Lurrus deck, which is very powerful right now in Pioneer. So Thoughtseize is getting more and more of a demand, and so there's a competitive card that also is included, one of the most played competitive cards that is also included in this chase or in this Iconic Masters set. Horizon Canopy is another one that's starting to recover. It did get hit a little bit with having its counterparts being printed in Modern Horizons, but this is still the premier one that sees more play than most of the cards, because it's the color combination that kind of struggles with card draw and gets flooded with land. And so it's one of the best ones, even if they were to complete all the cycles. And long term, I think Horizon Canopy would still be one of the more popular ones. We have other commander staples like Vorinclex, Consecrated Sphinx, Aether Vial as far as a competitive card, Archangel Thune, which is hitting more of the Pioneer scene, Sheoldred, Elish, Cryptic Command. These are high impact cards in various formats, and it's even cards like Lotus Cobra have rebounded quite well since they got crushed when they were released. So $4 to $12 with a card like Lotus Cobra, which is a rare, is a good sign for Iconic Masters. So anyway, that is my justification of why I think Iconic Masters is probably the best sealed product, I would say, right now. You could make the argument for like Return to Ravnica, because Return to Ravnica box prices are still dirt cheap, and EV-wise, they actually are worth more than if you're buying them at some of their dirt cheap value. But Return to Ravnica has a lot of volatility as far as concerned if Shocklands get reprinted, which I'm assuming I don't think they want Shocklands to go the way that Fetchlands went, and so I'm assuming they're going to find homes for these Shocklands. And they're also, Shocklands are something they want in standards. It's not that broken of a card in standard comparatively to like a Fetch land. It doesn't cause excess shuffling or cards that work with cards in the graveyard. It has that 2 damage taxing, which in any format standard is the one that's going to capitalize on the 18 life total with these red deck wins that seem to be out in every format. So I'm assuming that Shocklands will get printed a lot. The cards out of Iconic Masters I think are a bit harder because of key mechanic words, just key storyline figures, things like that. I mean, these were quote-unquote iconic cards, so they're harder just to just push in any supplemental set. So for those reasons, I think it is the best sealed product to invest in currently. If you are a patron of mine, do not hesitate. Reach out to me. Iconic Masters, I think, is a great pickup for your allotment this month, even next month. We have Ikoria coming out, and we have a few other things coming out. But in the scope of things, I think that there's going to be so much supply of all the stuff that's coming out that's not going to be able to meet the demand of just the lack of organized play going around. And when you can find something that is so commander-centric, I think that's the best place to park your money. And Iconic Masters definitely hits that bill. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. This has been Kevin with the Rogue Market. Thanks for watching.